So good morning. My name is Joost Kluiver. I founded a company called Closing the Loop. Thank you for listening to my story. 3 years ago I encountered a global problem that I wanted to solve. Just a picture here. So everybody probably sees several global problems every day. So why was this one that really set me on a mission? It was because I felt I was part of the cause. Let me explain. What you see here is people burning electronic waste, also called e-waste. They do this to extract metals from that waste. Quite dangerous and illegal and unhealthy situation, you can imagine. This is Agbogbloshie near Accra in Ghana. And I was there because I was on a business trip. I was working for a company involved in mobile phone reuse, which is a great concept. You give mobile phones a second life, phones that were used by people, for example, here in the Netherlands. And those phones mainly end up in countries such as Ghana, other African countries. Affordable phones, high quality, and of course less phones need to be produced because you give phones a second life. When I was there, I was talking to my customers. These are my customers. Shops are everywhere in Africa, mobile phone shops. Mobile phones are everywhere. They're probably just as much a common sight as the posters of politicians that want to get elected. Because mobile phones really help people to get connected to the 21st century, often for the first time in Africa. And these people, the people that were selling the phones, they were telling me how the second-hand market works, how much a mobile phone is worth, what type of phones they wanted. But when I asked them what happens to the phones when they turn completely end of life, they couldn't tell me. So I started to do some research, both online and in Africa. And I found out actually this was a huge problem, which was also very much known to the mobile industry and to the world. I found reports dating back to the 90s, clearly explaining how e-waste is turning countries such as Ghana into dumping sites and polluting the environment there. I found that this was known to the world, to NGOs, but nobody acted. So this was something that puzzled me because I know that mobile phones can be collected and recycled in a beneficial way for the environment, but also financially. So how does it happen that over 100 million phones turn into chemical waste each year in Africa? The answer was because there is no African solution to collect them. You can see, for example, here in the Netherlands, governments, NGOs, civil society work together to educate people to start recycling projects. But in Africa, the mobile industry, that's these guys, the informal sector. 80% of the industry exists of repair guys, people on the markets, second-hand sellers, and they don't have recycling programs. They're not aware about the need of recycling. They don't have infrastructure to collect, and there's no NGO locally that is actually functioning on the recycling area. So that's the problem that I dove on. I started to try to solve it 3 years ago. Since then, we founded Closing the Loop and did 5 pilots in 5 countries to answer the question, how can you actually collect these phones? And the answer was bottom up. You have to work with the informal sector, so the scrap dealers, etc. You have to offer them a really simple proposition. We pay you for your broken mobile phone, completely end-of-life phone that would otherwise be dumped. We work together with schools, with churches. And now we've collected over 250,000 phones. So this solution works, and that's great. But I just mentioned 100 million phones each year. So we need to scale up. And the only way we can do that is to offer this solution, which is informal but practical and it works, to the formal part of the mobile industry. Organizations globally, producers, operators, need to take their responsibility and work together with organizations that offer practical solutions. So together with companies such as KPN, we can actually make this solution work, have a big impact in the mobile industry and make this a more sustainable sector for the world to profit from. Thank you.